One of the surviving Texas 7 criminals is awaiting a new trial. Randy Halprin was one of 7 prison escapees involved in the murder of an Irving police officer in 2000. Today in court, the Dallas County District Attorney announced there may be a conflict of interest with one of Halprin's new attorneys. Fox 4 Stephen Dial in the newsroom with the story. Stephen.
Clarice, the news from the Dallas County District Attorney John Creuzot about a possible conflict was not expected by anyone in the courtroom today. John Creuzot says that he's still weighing on the option of the death penalty.
2 months after the state's highest criminal court granted a new trial for Randy Halprin, the notorious Texas 7 defendant appeared in a Dallas County courtroom. Halprin and 6 other inmates escaped from a South Texas prison in 2000. And on Christmas Eve that year, they killed Irving police officer Aubrey Hawkins during a robbery at a sporting goods store. Halprin received a death sentence, but the conviction was overturned after it was determined the trial judge targeted Halprin with anti-Semitic slurs. Halprin is Jewish.
But I want to bring it to your attention because it's of utmost importance that you know this. And I don't know if you know it or if anybody else knows it.
In Friday's hearing to see when a new trial date would be set, Dallas County District Attorney John Creuzot told the new judge there may be a conflict with one of Halprin's appointed attorneys.
Mr. Harris was the first assistant and went to his co-defendant's execution. And now he's been appointed to represent Mr. Halprin.
Creuzot is referring to attorney Heath Harris. Back in 2012, Harris worked for the then District Attorney Craig Watkins, and in his role with the county, attended the execution of another Texas 7 member, George Rivas. We spoke to Creuzot after the hearing about his concern.
My personal opinion, to protect the integrity of the case, as a former state district judge, I think there should be extreme caution as to whether he represents Mr. Halprin. And perhaps the decision would be not to.
Harris was not in court Friday due to a family issue. Halprin's other lawyer, Philip Hayes, says that the claims are something that should be looked into.
I mean, if everything that Judge Creuzot mentioned today is accurate, yeah, that's something that we might be concerned with. I know Mr. Harris is a fair lawyer and he's been on both sides, but that's always a concern in a case like this.
In reference to the case itself, Creuzot told the judge his office has not decided if this should be a death penalty case. Hawkins was shot 11 times, but Hayes says evidence shows that his client was not one of the shooters.
Of course, this had been 25 years ago, but there was testimony in one of the trials that the weapon that he had was fully loaded at the end of the altercation, and I believe that to be true. I don't believe, based on his involvement in this offense, and certainly based on his behavior in the last 25 years, that the death penalty would be an appropriate sentence.
Creuzot told the judge that there's at least 100 boxes of paperwork evidence that needs to be sorted through before handing it over to the defense. He said it could take up to 2 months to do that.